Yeah.
Just saying those words alone, you know exactly what that deck's filled with.
Oh, yeah, like, if there was no ban list, the game would entirely be like either Exodia... It would be Exodia FTK versus Burn FTK.
Yep.
But, I mean, the big problem for me is the presentation was just so limp. Like, they have the same track playing over every duel, which takes place on a standardized battlefield, and, like, it's supposed to replicate iconic battles from the anime, but it doesn't... And, I mean, the decks they built for those are kind of cool, but it doesn't feel like it, because you're just kind of listening to elevator music on what looks like the GX Duel Arena.
Oh, what's the server password?
Server password is Dynamis. DYNAMIS, all lowercase. By the way, I just set up a stream. This is now through OBS being streamed to YouTube. It's currently set to public. I may just make it private later. Heads up, got all the voice. I doubt anybody's really gonna check it out anyway, aside from us.
I should probably just, like, get myself set up.
Sounds like we have maybe 3 of us that are ready to duel.
I cannot, paste objects.
Yeah, let me promote you here.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got a main deck, I've got all my main decks, fusion decks, side decks, and a curate extra deck that only has the things that I need on, like, short notice.
Gotcha. 88, do you have something ready?
Yes. This should be the latest version of my usual deck with this.
Well, in that case, how about the 2 of you duel? I'll stream it.
Alrighty.
Alright,
and I should have included that. No. I kind of threw my side deck together very quickly. I'm not great at side decking in the game proper, so I just threw in some stuff that might be useful. So, first or second, or should we roll for it?
I suppose we can roll.
Alright, let's go for high roll.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. I've got a 5, and you have a 2.
2. You decide?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Let's duel. Draw. I'll put back this and this. Alright, I'll start by throwing down Reinforcement of the Army. Excavate the top 5 cards of my deck. And, unfortunately, none of them are level 4 or below, so that doesn't do anything yet. I will normal summon Epuria in defense mode. When Epuria is normal summoned, I can draw 1 card. Ah, there we go, now we're cooking. I'll send my Thunder Dragon to the graveyard to add 2 from my deck to my hand. Right here. Check them out.
Very well.
I will tribute Epuria to normal summon Thunder Dragon in defense position. I'll activate the on-field effect of Thunder Dragon. The 2 of us both discard 2 cards and then draw 2.
Okay.
I'll pitch. I'll get rid of Call of the Haunted and my other Thunder Dragon. Then draw 2.
Toss. I'll toss Red Eye Soul and MST.
Alright. Then draw 2. I will activate the effect of Thunder Dragon Colossus, transforming Thunder Dragon into it. Because I activate a Thunder Monster effect in the hand this turn.
Oi.
And I will set 1, set 2, set 3, and pass turn.
Quite the wall you got built up
Ethan.
in one turn.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
I think Thunder Dragon probably needs to get a nerf.
Yeah, big time. That
Perhaps.
one has consistently been a powerhouse.
So what are the chances that you drew it, like, first turn out of your 40 card deck?
Pretty good, because my deck's filled with draw power and searching.
Hmm.
That was actually like a particularly bad hand.
It's
Well, just note that its protection effect is only once per turn.
That is helpful.
Good news is there's not a lot of floating, so he banishes. It does not trigger other effect.
Yep.
hmm.
Mm.
Okay, I think I'm going to summon Kaiba Man.
That is, in fact, Kaiba Man. On normal summon, Giant Tortoise of Greed. Lets me draw 2.
Okay. Alright, then I will
Proceed.
actually activate his ability to tribute him to special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from my hand.
Alright.
I will then go into the battle phase and attempt to attack Colossus.
The attack will go through. I banish Thunder Dragon from the graveyard to stop Colossus' destruction. And with the damage gate up, I will not take any damage yet.
Well, hold up. It says if it would be destroyed by card effect, not by battle.
Oh, okay. That's an okay. Yeah, alright. Bye-bye, Colossus. Oh, right, and the material gets banished.
Well,
Alright.
the one would go to your deck because you weren't activate the effect protection, so the one Thunder Dragon does go back.
Right.
Okay, so then with that, main phase 2, I will set 2 face down and end my turn.
Alrighty. Brings us to my turn. Draw. Boy's effect protection wears off. I'll return this. I'll just set 1 card and pass.
Very well.
Replenishing the wall.
I will go to my battle phase and just try to destroy the damage gate.
Throw up a command silencer. Gates the attack. Lets me draw a card.
Very well then.
You weren't kidding about the drawing, though.
Command silencer is really good. Not sure if I'd put that on like the list of problem cards, but it's definitely a staple. Because usefully it also can respond to opponent's interruption. So especially for building a combo deck, it's
I will
helpful.
set 1 card face down and end my turn.
Alrighty. My turn. Draw. Ooh. I'll return this right here. Now, unfortunately, well, I'll start by discarding Thunder Dragon Dark. Add 2 copies from my deck to my hand. Um. Something I wish I didn't have to do, but I will set this card. And let me quickly figure out what I want to do here. Got a couple of lines of play I could go. Oh, wait. Okay. Hmm. 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 Yeah, I'll tribute my set monster for Thunder. Yeah, for Thunder Dragon Dark. Any
Okay.
response?
Nope.
All right. Activate the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark. We both discard 2, then draw 2. I'll discard my Spell Canceller and my other Thunder Dragon Dark. And then draw 2.
I will toss White Dragon Ritual and Fissure.
All right. Next, I will tribute my Thunder Dragon Dark. Go into Curse of Dragon. Any response?
No.
All right. I am going to activate Fusion Substitute. And I'll use Thunder Dragon and sub in for the other fusion material to bring out Ryu Senshi.
Dragon.
Trap protection, though worth knowing you can't respond to a counter trap. Because spell speeds.
Right.
Also, due to Curse of Dragon's effect, any monster you control with blood will have their effects negated until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
I'll next banish my Thunder Dragon Dark and my Thunder Dragon Less Dark to bring out Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Any response?
Unfortunately, no.
This is gonna
All
be
right.
interesting.
Go to battle. Emperor Dragon attacks your blue eyes.
I am going to activate Mirror Force.
I'll chain the effect of Ryu Senshi. Negate the effect.
Okay.
So the attack continues.
Okay, so that should destroy both of them.
Yeah, double kill.
Helios Strider at 700.
Yep. Oh, so right 700. Sorry. There we go. Then Ryu Senshi attacks directly.
I will have to take that.
Alrighty. Move into main phase 2. I will set 1 and pass to you.
All right, then. Hmm.
Yeah, nearly choked on a grape there.
Please don't do that.
It happens.
Okay. Let's give this one a try. I am going to summon Lord of Dragons.
As a oh, right, Bud. Right, I see what you're going for.
Yep, I am then
Continue.
going to activate the signature effect ability to send the card to the bottom of my deck. In order to activate Lord of Dragons' signature card, the Flute of Summoning Dragon.
And that is going to be a solemn judgment from me, buddy. So I'll pay $21.50. Unless you have your own solemn judgment.
No. So that's going to be
Like a
the end of
7
that.
or something. Yep.
From there, though, I shall then play Premature Burial to pay
Alright.
800 life points in order to revive Blue Eyes.
Okay. That will go through.
Yep. I will then head into the battle phase and have Blue Eyes destroy Ryu.
Alright.
That should be 1,000 difference, so your gate should go down as well.
It goes away at the end of the turn, so...
Right.
Yeah.
With that, that's going to end my turn.
Alrighty. Now my gate's broken, and I'll begin my turn. Draw. And Blaze immunity lasts just until the end of this turn, right?
It's the turn that it's summoned.
Okay.
So now it has none. Well, aside from Lord of Dragons, that is.
I'm going to return this. I'm going to set a monster. And I will tribute my set monster, which is Witch of the Black Forest, to summon my Chaos Sorcerer. I will then attempt to activate the Witch of the Black Forest effect.
Go ahead.
Alright, look at the top 5 cards, see if there's anything else less than 1,500 defense. No. My draws have been pretty bad this game.
Just for future
that does not do
reference,
it.
too, remember you can right-click the deck and do the search by number to just look at the top 5. Might be a little
okay.
easier.
Oh, okay, that's handy. Alright, what else do I want to do here? Well, okay, I'll start off with Chaos Sorcerer's effect and attempt to banish Blue Eyes. Get that thing out of my sight.
You can't. Lord of Dragons protects from targeted effects.
Oh, I see. Alright, then I guess I'll just be banishing your Lord of Dragons.
Very well.
Effect's gotta do something. What I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna have to think on that. What do I have for fusions here? I'll activate Silent Doom. I'll use it to resurrect my let's go for just Witch of the Black Forest. Effects are negated while it's on the field. And I'll throw down Card of Demise to draw 4. Any response?
Okay. No, that can go through.
All right. Hmm. I'll activate Reasoning. Declare a level. And then I'll reveal cards from the top of my deck until I reveal a monster that can roll summoned or set. What level are we going to try?
Let's go.
If you get it right, then the monster goes to the graveyard.
Let's go for level 3.
All right. Not a monster. Not a monster. Baphomet is not level 3, so it does get summoned. And when Baphomet is summoned, I can add a Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, to my hand. Here he is.
Okay.
Yep. And I can use Baphomet's other ability to fuse using monsters I have either on the field or in my hand. And I will use that. I'll fuse my Witch of the Black Forest with my Baphomet to create Archfiend's Manifestation. All Fiend monsters I control gain 500 attack, so he has 3,000 equivalent attack. And if there's no response to that, then next I'll play my Premature Burial and resurrect my Ryu Senshi, then pay 600 for that. And I'm going to go into battle.
Okay, then.
Archfiend's Manifestation will attack Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Okay, that's gonna have to go uncontested, so the 2 are destroyed.
When Archfiend's Manifestation is destroyed by an opponent's card, I can special summon the legendary Summon Skull.
Very well.
And next off, Summon Skull will attack directly. That'll be 2,500.
Yep.
And Ryu Senshi will attempt to go for game.
That does it.
Ooh,
All right.
well played.
Ooh.
Was really hoping you'd pop Blue Eyes so I could play that, bring him right back, and then... But...
Nope. Chaos. We've got a lot of banishing effects and also just big numbers. Yeah, I'll be honest. I figured that like there would be some value to normal monsters because of their effects. Also, I didn't even get to play that. I didn't get to play this because it conveniently works horribly against this deck. But like Blue Eyes aggro is actually pretty formidable. Because
there's a lot of other fun toys I built with this one because I like playing my classic fusion deck with also focusing with Red Eyes fusions as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, go into game 2.
Yep.
Just clean up everything because I did a bunch of searching.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do. Is I just delete all my cards and then just
Yeah.
reload the save object. Because
Yeah,
there's
it's usually
with
quicker.
with the extra deck and copy pasting, it's just easier to just burn them all and bring them back.
Probably.
Yeah, it gets a little messy.
Here's fusion deck, main deck, and side deck. And let me see if I want to do any side decking, because I might. Yeah, I think I will.
Hmm. The legendary dragons are also some fun cards to play in this one.
Okay. I haven't really
Yeah,
looked into those too much, so
Yeah, some of my I have all of the Critias fusions in my deck,
okay.
but my favorite combination is Tamias with Regeki.
Oh shoot, that sounds painful. Oh my.
Yeah, once per round, quick effect Raigeki is pretty nice.
Yep.
Hmm.
Hermos is the only one I really don't have a good spot in the deck for, but I mean, instant fusion summon of a 28 monster, special summon of a 28 monster is
Hmm.
can't say no to that really.
Yeah, especially for Stride's already very aggro. Alright, first or second?
Since I lost, I will. Yeah, I think I'll go first.
Alrighty.
Let's see here. Okay, so let me put 2 back. Hmm.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for those watching, the player who goes first has to return 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck.
Hmm.
This is a dilemma for me. This is a can that wants to go second, and I'm going first.
Oop.
All right. Let's see. What can I do about it? Um. Let's send this one and let's send this one back. Nope.
Mhm.
Wait, actually, let's make it this one. Okay. I'm gonna set one card face down and summon Red Eye's Black Chick and end my turn.
Okay. Interesting. I will drop return. Return uh this. Mm. I will normal summon, yeah, in defense, Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts.
Okay.
I will. Oh, I forgot to bring out my extra deck. Let me do that quickly.
Very well.
Uh,
Yeah, usually when I save the object, you're able to actually select all, and then you can right click and save object, and it'll save all 3 things as one thing.
okay. I did not know that.
Oh.
Oh boy.
That accidentally gave me my summoned skull.
Think
And
that
did you get my
gave-
chaos seed?
Yeah, and he put it back.
What the heck happened there?
I'm not
You-
sure what.
When you click draw or something, sometimes the buttons you can slip and accidentally hit the draw to all or something like that.
Well,
Or there's a wheel around it that says, deal to whatever color.
okay. Well, either way, I've got Burfman in hand now. And I will. Think on this for a second because there are a few options I have here. I'll go simple here. Fusion summon. Chimera, the flying mythical beast.
Okay.
Then I will go to wait. Yeah, I'll go to Bow and I'll attack Red Eyes Black check.
Okay, so when that happens, I am going to activate Meteorite Fall.
Okay.
When an opponent's level 5 or higher monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster. I then special summon a Meteorite Dragon from my hand, deck, or grave, and if I do, inflict 1,000 damage to that target.
So he's down to 1,100, and because of the way replay rules work, he's forced to attack your dragon.
Okay, let me just find him first. So...
So yeah, battle is conducted with Meteor Dragon. Does Meteor Dragon
18 to 11 now.
Okay. So yeah, that's not to break my gate, but it will destroy my Chimera. However, when he's destroyed, I can special summon one of his fusion materials, and I will special summon Berthomet. Then Berthomet's effect will activate and allow me to add a Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, from my deck to my hand.
Okay.
So, going to main phase 2. And I will overlay these two using Berthomet's effect to fusion summon my other option, Dark Balter the Terrible.
Oh, great. A great counterpart to your Ryu.
Yep.
Perhaps
I will
I
sell
had
one.
a normal set condition.
Yep. Set 1, set 2, set 3, and pass to you.
Okay, my turn. Draw 3. And let's put this one back. Okay, standby phase. Because Red Eyes Black Chick is on the board at this point, he is now able to level up into Red Eyes Black Dragon.
All right.
So put that back. And yep, come that.
Mm-hmm.
So it now has effect immunity.
Yep. And because of Meteor Dragon, it's also got... Okay. Nasty.
Yep. But that is not all. I am going to send this card back to the bottom of the deck in order to activate Meteorite, one of Meteorite Dragon's signature cards.
Is?
One of the new ones, I should say. Meteor Flare Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion summon one Meteor Black Dragon using one Red Eyes Black Dragon and one Meteor Dragon from your hand, field, or graveyard as fusion material. So I will combine the two of these together in order to summon Meteor Black Dragon. And am I able to Gemini at this point with him?
You are. I don't think you actually need to do that because I think you could just contact fuse the two.
Yeah, for future reference, you really could have just contact fused. But
Yeah.
Yes, you can Gemini it.
Yep, so that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
So send him right back in order to Gemini summon Meteor Black Comet Dragon instead.
On the summon of Meteor Black Common, the Gemini counts as a summon, right?
Yes, it counts as the normal fusion summon.
Torrential Tribute.
Okay, then. That's either way, he's getting destroyed. So,
Yep.
right, so that destroys it. If this card leaves the field, target one of this card's materials and special summon it.
Mm-hmm.
So he is destroyed. I will call back Red Eyes for that. And does Chick go to the banished zone as well?
Yeah, because it was part of the
Yeah.
materials, it's also been.
It probably, I think it probably should have been sent technically when the fusion happened, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay, so then with that, I am then going to activate Mystical Space Typhoon to pop this card.
All right. Not happy to see that go.
And let me just check something here. Okay, then I am going to activate from my hand Black Metal Dragon in order to activate the Metal Morph Evolve on Red Eyes
Mm-hmm.
in order to turn him into Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon.
Okay. Nasty.
Note that it still maintains the energy effect turn.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay, well then in that case, I am going to finally go to battle phase and smash your gate.
All right. That'll go through, or it'll break at the end of the turn.
Well, end turn.
Yeah.
So.
And ending your turn?
Yep.
All right. So, makes it my turn. I'll draw. See what I get here. Hmm. I'll turn this. All right. I'll activate. Actually, no. I will normal summon Sangan. I will tribute Sangan for my Chaos Sorcerer. Activate the effect of Sangan. Top 5 cards in my deck. Add one with 2,000 less attack. Oh, wow. Got so many good options here. Yeah, I'll add Thunder Dragon Dark.
Oh, 2,000 now. Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit much. Anyways, I will activate Chaos Sorcerer's effect and banish Raya's Black Metal Dragon.
Okay. The materials are banished as well?
Yep.
All right.
Next, I'll activate the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark, send that to the graveyard, and add 2 to my hand. I am back on my bullshit. Hmm. I'll activate Silent Doom to revive. Actually, wait. Oh, never mind. Well, it's too late now. I can work with this, I guess. Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast.
Okay.
I'll use Fusion Substitute with Chimera to bring out Master of Oz.
Oy. All right.
I'll tribute Chaos Sorcerer for Thunder Dragon Dark. Activate Card of Demise. Draw 4. Alright. Activate the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark. Make us both discard 2 and then draw 2.
Ah, crap. Okay. Hmm. Oh, Kaiza, I just realized the my particular Starlight Rare copy of Comet Dragon's gonna need updating.
Yeah, it
Get that
probably does.
outdated?
Okay.
Oh, right. It's conditions restrictor now.
Okay, so which two do I want to toss now then? I think, let's see. I'm gonna toss Premature Burial and the Ayatamias.
Okay. Glad to see those gone. Next I'll throw down reasoning. What level are you gonna guess?
This time I think I'm gonna go with... Let's go with 5.
Alright. 4.
Of course.
Alright, next I'll activate the effect of Chaos Grepper, because I can just do this now. I'll discard Baphomet, and that lets me look at the top 10 cards in my deck, and then send a light attribute monster to the graveyard. We've got Curry Bandit, Lightning Vortex, Curse of Dragon, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Thunder Dragon, Dark Test Spirits. I haven't been counting. Reinforcement of the Army. How many is this so far? Okay. Spell Canceller, and... Alright, yeah, and I'll send my Thunder Dragon to the graveyard.
Alright.
And I'll go to battle. I'll attack directly with my Chaos Grepper. The end of turn, that will break your gate. And then
Okay.
end of turn, I will set 2 and pass. And due to Heart of Demise, Doom Caliber Knight goes to the graveyard.
Okay, then.
Heart of Demise needs to be nerfed.
Way too much advantage here.
Perhaps
Oh, yeah.
so.
Okay, put that down there.
I suppose I
And...
forgot to activate Chimera's effect on the first turn. Oh well. I'd also say the Thunder Dragons probably just shouldn't, like, the hand destruction ability, I get what you're going for, but I think it's unnecessary, because Thunder Dragons are already just really good. Like, they've basically always been playable. They still see some niche play today, even.
I am going to... Let's see here. Hand or field. Okay. I am going to fuse Mirror Force and Fang of Critias in my hand to summon Mirror Force Dragon.
Alrighty.
Just a heads up. Fang of Critias actually requires the card to be set first. But, I mean, you could have just...
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that...
That doesn't make a difference, really.
I was going to say, Critias said hand or field, so...
What I'm reading
Alright.
says, must be special summoned from your hand by placing one set normal or counter trap you control under it as material.
That's what Tamaya says, I can see, but, like, let me check quickly.
No, on this one it says, reveal this card in your hand, fusion summon a fusion monster that lists this card's name by using cards in your hand/field, including this card.
Oh, with the second effect.
Okay.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
My bad,
the
I forget
upper ones
that
for
one.
other.
Yeah. Alright, never mind then.
Yeah, okay. From there, I am gonna have Mirror Force Dragon battle Thunder Dragon Dark.
All
So
right.
28 to 16.
Yes. Actually, Thunder Dragon Dark's third effect makes it gain 300 attack each time you discard a card, which you did last turn. So he's actually up to 2200. So yeah, I take 600. Still. Which is the first
Okay.
actual damage of the game.
Main phase 2. I am going to I'm gonna set a monster face down and one card face down. That will end my turn.
Man,
All
that Mirror
right.
Force Dragon really is the play when you have nothing but cards on your field.
Yep.
Very dangerous.
I'll draw. What do I get here? I'll return. Be careful here. I'll play this safe. So I will activate my set Call of the Haunted. I will use it to resurrect. I could have had game there if I played just a bit differently. Oh well. That's fine. Sangan.
Okay.
The reason I'm bringing back Sangan is because I activate Soul Taker, targeting Mirror Force Dragon. Any response?
Crap, good way of going around that. Alright, then he's dead. That's...
Not yet, because Soul Taker targets, so first off, nothing happens yet. I can distribute it. Second of all, my field does still get wiped. But that includes Sangan. So, that means I get a search.
Okay. Still,
Then,
Mirror Force goes, and these are banished.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I haven't
Hold on.
tributed him
Yeah,
yet.
he hasn't actually tributed it. It just states
Yeah.
that this turn he can tribute it as if he controls it. So
Yes.
he now has
Oh.
the ability to tribute it. Uses.
Yeah. The card I'll add is I only have one choice. Blue Ninja. Then shuffle the rest back in. Anyways, now I tribute Mirror Force Dragon to summon Spell Canceller.
Okay, and I gain 1,000 life points.
Yes, from Soul Taker. Spell Canceller will attack your set monster.
Hold on. When you
Go into battle phase.
summoned that level 5, right? By tribute?
Yeah.
When you did that, before going to battle phase, I flip up Black Dragon's Roar.
Okay. In response to that, I will target Black Dragon's Roar, reveal my Crimson Ninja, and special summon him from the hand, which negates the trap and resets it.
Very well.
Spell Canceller now proceeds to attack your set.
Okay, the set is White Stone of Legend, who dies from battle. When that happens, I can then add one Blue Eyes White Dragon from my deck to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Shall do so from the extra deck.
Alrighty. By the way, the play I should have done now they know what most of my hand is. I was debating whether or not to keep Crimson Ninja or a copy of Premature Burial I drew into. But I realized, wait, I could have used Call of the Haunt to revive Jinzo. That negates traps for the turn as a lingering effect. Then I could use Soul Taker. My field will be wiped. I could use Premature Burial to revive Master of Oz, and then go per game with him and Spell Canceller. Which would have been exactly 6,000. Alright. I'll go into main phase 2, see if I have anything I want to do. And, Actually, I do. I will use Spell Cancel and Crimson Ninja to summon Ryu Senshi. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, that works. Wind and Earth. End of turn.
All right, very well. My turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will then summon Lady of Dragons.
Alrighty.
I will then use her. I will then call upon her signature move
Mm-hmm.
by sending this away to try and bring out the Flute of Summoning Dragon.
Alright. How many cards are you going to discard for that?
Um. Yeah, shoot, I keep forgetting about that part of it. Just the one.
Alright, well, in response to activation and cost, Blue Ninja's effect. Targeting Flute of Dragon and setting it. And it can't be activated this turn.
Very well. In that case, Lady of Dragon will then attack Blue Ninja.
That goes through.
And that's going to end my turn.
Alright, my turn. I'll draw. I will normal summon. Actually, no. I will, from the graveyard,
Did you return a
banish
card from
my.
your hand to the bottom of the deck?
Oh, you're right, I didn't. Okay. Well, luckily that's pretty easy for me. Not using that guy. I'll banish my Sangan and my Chaos Greffer to special summon Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End.
When you do that, I will play Dragon's Roar this time around again.
I'll activate Ryu Senshi's effect, pay 700.
Okay, that negates that.
And I will go to battle. Ryu Senshi will attack Lady of Dragons.
This card in the field will be destroyed by battle or effect. Ryu. Yeah, I will use her effect to send Blue Eyes to grave to only take 500 damage then. She stays.
Alright. Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End, will attack her next.
I cannot, and that will take 15 instead now.
Alright. And I will end my turn.
All right. Regeki.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, that'll go through. Good top deck.
And it's going to get better. I then summon Kaiba Man, and I will tribute him to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from the extra deck.
Alright.
However, if I summon Blue Eyes from the deck, he cannot attack this turn.
Yep.
So that will end my turn.
Alright then. Makes it mine. Hmm. return this. I normal summon Epuria. This effect allows me to draw a card. Next, I'll activate Premature Burial, resurrecting my... Oh, wait. Sorry, there's an obvious correct target here. Resurrecting my Master of Oz, and that'll be 900 life points. And I'll go to battle. Master of Oz will attack Blue Eyes. I will set one card and pass turn.
Very well. I play Fissure.
That will destroy Epuria.
That's all I can do. Turn end.
Oof. Draw. I banish my Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End. And my Thunder Dragon. The special summon Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. I'll send Thunder Dragon Matrix to the graveyard to power him up by 500 points. And I will attack for game. And yeah. Ooh.
Good game.
Yeah. That was a pretty
there
solid
it was,
game.
3 turns. There it was, 3 turns away.
Yeah, I think like the monsters are actually pretty well balanced looking at it.
The Chaos monsters, I think, still need to banish 4 monsters and such. They have proven themselves to be too OP in the real game. I feel like they're still kind of that now.
Maybe. Chaos Emperor Dragon and Blackluster Soldier definitely probably need that.
Yeah,
Chaos
Chaos Sorcerer
Sorcerer-
not so much. The envoys definitely need the extra plus to it. If somehow Chaos Sorcerer had to go to the +4, then the 2 of them would need to go to 6 monsters banished.
So
Mhm.
perhaps because they are higher level and more powerful in effects, they should have a little bit of a more restrictive summoning condition than
Yeah.
Chaos Source.
Especially because as is, like, BLS is currently just better than Chaos Sorc.
True.
Yeah, I think the big problem that still needs to be dealt with is there are a couple of advantage engines that are still too powerful. Like, I think the Thunder Dragons would still be very playable. Like, I'd still probably consider splashing them into, like, any Chaos deck. Or any Fusion deck. If they didn't have, like, the built-in hand destruction. I think that's just a bit excessive.
Yeah, I think the reason I added that on there is because thinking of using them outside having their fusion access, there's little reason to actually do so. They are weak
Well-
5 level or level 5 or higher monsters. All they can do is get you a +1 in the hand by discarding for 2 more useless monsters.
That's the thing, though. That's actually really good. Like, Thunder Dragon has been consistently played throughout the game's history, and no one ran the fusions until, like, Colossus came out in 2018. Just because getting an extra card in hand that you can, like, throw away for things like Raigeki Break is really good. Source, I've played, like, quite a bit of Chaos format. and I do in fact run Thunder Dragon in most of my decks.
Perhaps the discarding, just getting them in the grave to use for Chaos Monster is pretty useful. But again, I'm thinking in terms of a draft or sealed play, if you draw it, how often is it going to be actually effective? That kind of thing.
It potentially quite a bit, especially because like with you also have Thunder Dragon Matrix as a searcher. It's just a really good way to get resources in hand. Plus even without the plus again also fusion materials, even without like their own proprietary fusions, light and dark are just decent attributes for fusions. I think they'd be fine.
Perhaps Performate should be locked into like into a hard once per turn. Is it a soft or a hard once per turn?
Anything that has once per turn on it is a hard once per turn.
No,
But
okay.
yeah, I did notice that too when fusion summoning into Chimera then brought out the material that then chained off its whole summoning effect again. Yeah, I didn't really intend that to happen, and I think I actually had it previously listed as it had to be normal summoned in order to get its effect, which I think is maybe how it works in the current game. For whatever reason, I took that off, didn't take into consideration the Chimera effect. So yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight on my part, I think.
I'd also probably get rid of the fusion effect just because I don't get why I use Chimera Fusion when you can search and fuse. But I guess that would change if you could. I guess that would be different. To be fair, that would be different if you had to normal summon them, because then it would have the advantage they can use it on like an opponent's turn or something. For like a hand rip or something. As is, Chimera Fusion feels a bit redundant. Card of Demise, like, I think the limited list and a lot of the cards on need to be revised. Card of Demise is way too powerful. Like, it's not as broken as is in the main game, because the fact that you usually have a much bulkier hand and you have fewer places to set, it is harder to empty your hand. But when you do, it just gives you so much advantage that it's hard for your opponent to recover. Like, both times I played it, basically doubled the length of my turn. I would say you should probably... Yeah. I'd say probably set to, like, its TCG limitations, where it lets you draw up to 3, which would still be really good, and you can't special summon during the turn. And then it would have more of a use in like control type decks. That's what I'd argue.
Yeah, I'd say I could either go that route or have some sort of condition to where you can only use it if you truly are, in some case, behind card advantage wise and you are clearly losing. I don't know what that condition would be, but something of a way to bounce back at the start of the turn, not during, when you want to combo off some more kind of thing. Perhaps a start of the main phase 1, you can activate type of restriction. Not sure.
Yeah, that would be reasonable. That would basically put it on the level of that would make it still stronger than its TCG counterpart. But since you're drawing up to 2 each turn, that would put you in a position where you could draw a maximum of 3 cards off of it.
Yep.
And I still think it would be worth slapping another restriction on it, though. Just something like, I'm not sure, either a special summon restriction or a damage restriction would be helpful. I don't know. It's incredibly powerful, and it needs to be reined in. Another card that did... Okay, so these two actually didn't come up. One of them because it happened to have a bad matchup here conveniently, but the other one I just did not draw it at an opportune time. These are probably the single most broken things in all of DMO3. Heartbeats, Featherstorm, and Curry Bandit. Curry Bandit is mill 3, add 2 for a normal summon, which is absolutely insane. And Heartbeats, Featherstorm is basically just a turn skip against any deck that relies on effect monsters. How I'd balance them is Curry Bandit. I'd probably just kind of make work the way it does in the TCG because it's still good there. It still saw a lot of play back in like 2014. And Harpy's Featherstorm should be nuked from orbit because I hate this card so much, but it was in the anime. I do acknowledge that. So I'd say make it so that only works during like the battle phase because that's how Mai used it in the anime, and that's what it did in the anime. It shut down effects during the battle phase.
That'd be a pretty good compromise.
Yeah.
Still effective, but not eliminating the entire turn.
Or alternatively, if you want like another compromise, make it so that you have to control a winged beast to fire it off outside of the battle phase, or something like that. I don't know. But honestly, I have this card makes my blood boil enough that I would be fine with just making it work like the anime counterpart instead.
Sangan too. Yeah.
Say Sangan too?
Yeah, Sangan's a bit too good right now, I'd say.
Particularly because of the 2,000 or less limit?
Yeah, that's the big problem. Without
Yeah,
that,
that was unnecessary. 1500 was always fine for him. Same with Witch.
yeah, which is still at 1500,
I
thankfully.
think the primary reason I did that is because now it is limited to strictly 5 from the top of the deck, and I feel like you're probably going to have more powerful monsters typically in your deck, and figured it probably wouldn't be able to be used as much if it was 1500. But if you think that's truly not the case, then maybe dropping it back down to 1500 is better.
To be honest, when you're kind of proving me wrong with your deck construction, the 2-0 you took me at, but
yeah.
At least in deck construction, when I was looking, I was with the draw 3, put 1 back every turn. I always kind of felt like I was drawing up enough cards. I didn't actually need to do searching for them. That's why I chose Regeki over Card Demise and such. But like I said, I think you're kind of proving me wrong here on this one.
Consistency is king.
Well, that Regeki did come in clutch one moment.
Oh, it did. It's still a solid card. But the problem is,
but I should have tossed Lady of D turns ago instead of Tamias. Then I could have summoned Tamias into Fusion Regeki and just tried blasting you every turn with them.
Yeah, Graceful Charity also should be moved to limited 1 because if it was for the amount of power creep going on, oddly enough, Envoy of the End. I'm very reluctant to admit this, but I feel like it might not act. I mean, it definitely needs to have its conditions increased because it's just a huge beat stick you can toss out of nowhere for basically no resources.
But its actual effect, a little less useful, right?
Yeah, it's less useful because you're constantly drawing up to 3. And
not only that, but Yatagarasu is also his is because of the way the draw system works here. He just cuts you off 1. You can still draw your 2 and put 1 away, so you can't Yada lock in this at least.
That doesn't actually make much of a difference because Yada locking wasn't actually a thing that happened. That's the secret thing here. This is a thing that no one actually mentions because no one plays these old formats, but Yada locking is actually incredibly difficult to pull off in the real game. No, the problem with Chaos Emperor Dragon is just completely removes your opponent of their resources, and if you draw into it at the right time, they just can't come back from it. But the problem here is because you regain resources so much more quickly, and you're kind of ceding advantage to your opponent. So.
Plus,
but that's what I was still saying was the way those cards are designed that even if you can, you still can't in this particular game.
Yeah, I mean, if more floating effects get into the game, this thing definitely needs to be neutered. But as is, I have mostly been using it for its body. So
that's a weird thing to say.
I only like him for his body. That's the tragedy here.
But
Yeah.
yes, I noticed you were reluctant to activate its actual effect every time you had it out there, and we're using it as a very easy to summon beat stick, which is still
Yeah.
useful, but
Oh,
its
yeah.
effect is potentially a detriment if you just cannot burn them completely that turn.
Yeah. So tentatively, I'm gonna say it's not the biggest concern in the world, but it needs to have its conditions increased, and so does BLS for that matter, as much as I like BLS.
Perhaps also the the overall the card advantage, because it feels like sometimes you make plays but you don't you don't risk or sacrifice anything for it, so you end up going even if you know, like you summon many times or something like that, but you still have a full hand.
Yeah. So a few other things I would change. Are earlier you just had so that you could tribute someone once and normal someone once, and I think that's overall better because it reduces the ability to just kind of like keep going, which I could like currently that's mainly a problem because of the Thunder Dragons. But for example, it also makes Chaos Sorcerer really nasty because I can summon Chaos Sorcerer, bash, and then just tribute him immediately and keep my plays going while ignoring the
That's
condition.
true.
And that's also so the reason why like Witch and Sangan's effects aren't as like are really powerful even with the nerf is because tribute summoning and one tributes are so much more powerful in this format. These guys are just the best tribute fodder because they get you back your resources. Worst case scenario, I'm not going any worse than if I tributed literally anything else. But best case scenario, I'm just getting back the monster I tributed effectively. So in a deck that runs on tributes, these guys are really, really good. And that's probably going to be more decks than in the main game because of the fact that tributing like tribute monsters are less likely to be dead in hand. It can still happen. It did happen. My deck is actually pretty top heavy. Like I did have a couple of turns where I only had one option and then a bunch of tributes, which would have put me in a bad position if like my opponent had drawn to bottomless or something. But yeah, they're really good. I'm not sure if they're good enough that they need to be hit, but I don't think Sangan needs the Buffet God. That's my take there.
Does anyone think that Sangan and or Witch of the Black Forest should be on a limited 2?
Yeah, for sure.
I would consider that. Yeah.
I feel like searching and drawing
sounds fair
maybe
enough.
needs to be revised.
Alright, then maybe I
Because
will put Sangan back to the 1500 search, put them both on the limited 2 list. Maybe shift a few things up to that limited 1 list, which really hasn't seen a whole lot of use. There's just not that many cards on it. So I could have a few
Oh, yeah.
more.
Yeah, Graceful Charity should probably be on the limited 1 list. After you like hit Card of Demise and Curry Bandit, because oh boy, those were terrifying. Because Graceful Charity is actually just better than I think anything on the limited 1 list except for Card of Demise. Because like the Seal of Orichalcos, I'm guessing is there kind of as a precaution, but as I see it, it's mostly kind of like a fun gimmick, not something that's going to be super powerful.
Yeah, the primary thing I noticed in testing with the Seal of Orichalcos, it's difficult to remove, and as time goes on, it progressively, it levels up essentially, and then it's continuous effects that pile on. It's kind of annoying to deal with.
That is fair, but at the same time, another thing is that also like permanently takes up a slot in your back row because field cards aren't a thing. And only having 3 back row actually makes a huge difference. I completely did not realize how much of a difference it would make. So it kind of has a built-in cost that's more powerful than you think it is. The 3 God card supports I haven't really looked into, but
Yeah,
they,
as much as I want to put Obelisk Summoner in, I just cannot let go of Regeki.
yeah, Living Arrow, I don't think is all that good, honestly. Um, it's too situational, depend on what your opponent is using. Um, Change of Heart is there's no reason to use it over Brain Control because except unless you want both, because the restrictions on Brain Control aren't very meaningful. Um,
Isn't it straight up better than brain control though? I mean, it's a no cost, choose anything you want, take it for a turn. Whereas brain control, it
it
has a restriction plus a life point cost.
Yeah, the Brain Control's restriction is negligible unless you're playing against like a flip monster deck, and its cost is negligible, especially because life points are actually less important in this format than they are in mainline Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can't get OTK'd. Um, so it is a strict upgrade, but it's an upgrade in such a trivial way that the only reason you'd play it is if you were also running Brain Control and you just wanted more ways to control monsters. And then Feather Duster and Raigeki are, of course, great cards, but in most cases, Graceful Charity, I'd still argue, is better. Just because, like, deck cycling is really good. And also graveyard setup. So, that's my take on that.
I'm putting all these down as notes, and I'm going to take a look and consider making a
Mm-hmm.
few tweaks and changes, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what these tests are for.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound fickle as I'm changing things every time we play, but
No
when we do
worries.
test it, we want to improve upon it and make sure that it is a very tightly controlled set of cards.
Designing things is hard. I'd honestly say probably try to introduce fewer cards at a time for a
Yeah,
number of
that was
reasons.
one thing I was gonna say when you were mentioning it takes 3 to 4 months to make a set. I would be fine with if you made like 50 cards and then put those up like if for DM4, say here's the first 50 cards of them, because then that would encourage us to actually build decks and play with those. And then like in the next 2 weeks or so, here comes the next 50 to look at instead of having to look at like 300 cards in 2 weeks to build a deck for the
Yeah.
playtests.
The other advantage, though, and this is kind of a thing to note in general, the more cards there are, the more competitive deck building is going to be, and the harder it's going to be to justify using like niche cards. Like my favorite format to build for was actually DMO1 because the trap pool there kind of sucked. So I was using all sorts of wacky stuff, and the deck I built looked really weird, and I liked that. But then come like DMO2 and DMO3, now suddenly good traps are available, so now it looks a lot more like a conventional deck. Because we've got like the Mirror Forces. Mirror Force was there from the start, but like, uh,
Now you've got the other good ones like Drowning and
Bottomless, Solemn Judgment, I think was added in DMO2. I don't remember.
I think that was in DMO1. But
Okay.
yeah, DMO4 is intended to be the very last set for the era of 1 cards. So
Mhm.
DMO5 would then be starting the GX series, and the number 2 would be placed on all the cards. So if we wanted to do some sort of rotation or have a separate kind of set to divvy it out separately, only use cards from here on, or this type of format, that would be a good time to do so.
Mhm.
DMO4, I do still intend to probably release all at once, because it's not nearly as many cards as these previous sets, and it's just gonna wrap things up. But going forward, because of how difficult it is to go through so many cards and verify their effects and add it all together, I may release them in smaller doses The hard part is when there's so many cards that work together, link together, go off, call from the extra
Yeah.
deck. It's hard to, get a good selection that isn't going to also require some more cards later.
Well, that's the part where we understand that it's only a part of what the whole set is. It's just we get to
Yeah.
see them and find any bad problem cards a little
Mhm.
sooner than.
Plus, it also just like if you're regularly dropping new updates, that just makes it more exciting, and that's more likely to increase engagement because everyone's
true.
going to be like, "Oh, 2 weeks, the new set drops. What's it?"
Well, maybe some previews the weeks leading up would be beneficial in that case.
Those also help, but there's also a difference between a preview and getting to play with something yourself, getting to like figure out how to break it.
Donald, were you
But,
going to say something? We'll make sure we're not cutting him off.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Maybe he wasn't.
Other suggestion, and this one's a bit self-serving, but I'm willing to help with the card design for GX because I like GX, and I've always wanted a lot of the archetypes from that time to be playable, and you have your work cut out for some of them because
I look forward to seeing Roids be playable.
I've genuinely come up with a goddamn game plan for Roids. There's because I actually did put some thought into this. I'm not proposing this out of nowhere. I've actually done like a mock-up of what I do for some cards.
Very nice.
I know what I do for Roids. They'd be like a very slow and grindy control deck that's based on protecting themselves and just poking your opponent for damage, and like gaining advantage if they do. Because like there are like 2 or 3 cards in the archetype that do that, but not enough to make a coherent playstyle. The actual playstyle of Roids, if you analyze it, is they're designed to lose battles because they're played by Cyrus, who's supposed to be an underdog character. So they're designed to have effects that don't do anything outside of super specific conditions where he can be like, hey, this looks like a chance where Patroid could be useful.
Yeah, then they turn into the pack filler for the rest of us.
Yep. My personal favorite is like the multi-attacker, which halves its own attack, even though it requires and makes you go -4. Because if it didn't do that, then Cyrus would have won, and he had to lose for the plot to keep going. But also, he had to summon a big, impressive fusion monster, so it could seem like he's going to win. Which is like, that makes for okay television, but it definitely should not have made it into the card game. My god. Who designed this? But yeah.
Heliostrat, I know you've had a lot of cards and you've contemplated a lot of effects and balancing issues. 88, have you had any concerns yourself you'd like to point out?
Not really. Haven't been able to play with a lot of them to figure stuff out yet. Actually, I was also constructing a Dark Magician deck just to kind of see what cards are going on there. I didn't save the one before this started, though. I think that's going to do it for me tonight, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, thanks for the games, and I'll see you guys later.
See you later, idiot. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for coming around, and good game.
Yep, good game.
Yeah, I generally did not. I think I vaguely considered, but didn't think too much about just a big Unga Bunga dragon beatdown. But that does seem to be pretty good.
Yeah, with the effects of Red Eyes and Blue Eyes, gaining their immunity for the turn, it's, nothing to scoff at, along with all these
Yeah.
supported signature moves.
Yeah, like the main form of interaction is traps, and they get around those very easily, which is pretty good. And they also provide removal through like offense. I definitely feel like you could tinker with that and make a really good deck out of that.
Well, if you're up for it, I do have a deck ready if you'd like to play.
Sure, just let me use the bathroom because I need to do that. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for joining, Donald. See you later.
Goodbye.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Let me bring out the other deck I threw together, because I also did like something with Gaia, because I think currently the single strongest fusion is Gaia, the Magical Knight of Dragons, but there isn't a whole lot of reliable way to get him out consistently besides using BLS as a material, which is something I'm somewhat reluctant to do, but might not be the worst idea because it is really powerful. But yeah, as far as I can tell, that currently seems to be like one of the strongest fusions, just because quick effect destruction is really good. And
curious
currently
to
there
see
isn't a whole lot of that. Probably sorry, I should not draw until I figure out if I'm going first or second.
I'm just waiting for it to finish loading up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's roll.
Alright, that's a 2. Let's see if I can beat that. Yep,
Like a 5.
I'll be going first. Draw. Additional on top of that.
Change.
So turn you and you. Oh wait, no. Sorry. Alright, so I'll start off by normal summoning Witch of the Black Forest, defense mode.
Nice.
Tribute my Witch. Bring out Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. Witch's effect activates. Check the top 5. And I'll add Gazelle, King of Mythical Beasts. Let's that back down. Let's see what I can go into. Let's also use like a lot of the dragon fusions because I didn't use that many of them in my base one.
There are a lot of.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I probably misplayed here. But I guess I'll just do this. I'll fuse Black Meteor Dragon and Gazelle into get about Chimera, the King of Mythical Beasts. I'll activate his effect. At the end of this turn, you'll have to discard a card, and I will that one pass turn. Chimera's effect resolves, and then fades.
Let's see. Pick a random
I
card.
have to pick a random one. So let's get rid of this one.
Okay.
All right.
Just thought of something. Have you even did you use that effect in the last 2 duels?
No, I forgot to. I realized in like the last one. Oh wait, didn't use I forgot to resolve Chimera's effect. I declared it and then just didn't resolve it. That's the problem with these kinds of effects. Oh, well, it's good practice because this is actually the deck I run in real life. Because Chimera is actually in the meta right now, which is kind of wild.
That is.
Yeah, it's like the most bizarrely Yugi Boomer deck ever because it's based around like a random Battle City monster, and it can run Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, and it also uses a bunch of cards from like 2004. It is the first time in the history of the game that a deck can consistently pull off the Protector of the Sanctuary Disturbance strategy lock.
Oh, I just realized. That means it's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's your move.
All
No
right,
worries.
let's see. Oh, 3. I'll return this card to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll summon Flame Swordsman.
All right.
Monsters I control gain 500 attacks. That puts them at 8.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have Flame Swordsman on the field, I can activate Salamandra from my graveyard, returning it to my hand.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So thank you for discarding that one specific card. Then I'll
Oof.
activate Salamandra, equipping it to Flame Swordsman. Boosts his
Mhm.
attack 700 additional points, putting him at 2,500.
All right.
Battle phase. Flame Swordsman, take out his Chimera.
All right. Chimera goes to the graveyard. Does not break my damage gate though, and I can return one of my fusion materials, and the one I'll return is Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts. Gazelle's effect activates, and I can add a Baphomet to my deck, or to my hand. Did I not include Baphomet in this? Uh, let me grab a Baphomet quickly. Can I see one from your extra deck?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Yeah, I usually just make a smaller one just because it's faster to flip through.
Yeah, the 360 cards are kind of takes a bit to load.
Yeah. So yeah, here's come on, tabletop simulator, respond.
Notice White Wolf just popped in, and I guess they popped out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Difficulty.
All right. Here's Baphomet. He's in my hand now.
Ready?
There he is.
All right, main phase 2.
All right.
Cards. That ends my turn.
All right. Draw. Um I'll return this. So I don't want to do this. Um hmm. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll summon Berfomet. Activate his effect, add Gazelle. I clone that because I don't trust myself to actually include a second copy. I've now used both these effects once per duel. I will use Berfomet's effect to fuse with Gazelle in my hand in order to bring out Dark Vulture, the Terrible. In response to that?
No response.
All right. Next off, I will activate Chaos Swarm, sending Lord of Dragons from my hand and Gazelle from my field to the graveyard in order to special summon figure out what I want to bring out actually. Probably let's play as Chaos Dragon again. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna bring out Magician of Black Chaos.
So it has immune turn.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go to battle. Magician of Black Chaos will attack Flame Swordsman.
Well, in that case, I'm going to activate Meteorite Fall to attack
Yeah,
level 5
yeah.
or higher monster. I can target it and then special summon Meteor Dragon. However,
But it won't do any
it's like
damage
1,000.
because Magician of Chaos is immune to effects.
So Meteor Dragon, I'm going to summon it in defense mode and redirect the attack to Meteor Dragon.
Alright. Magician of Black Chaos attacks.
And the first time it would be destroyed, it is not.
Alright then. Move to main phase 2. See what else I can do. Yeah, I guess I'll do this. I'll activate Fusion Substitute, equip it to Magician of Black Chaos, or overlay it to bring out this terror.
You actually just summoned Red Eyes Dark Dragon.
Yep.
Nice.
I'll
Alright.
activate its effect, and I'll use it to destroy Meteor Dragon.
Okay.
Actually, wait, does this count as a normal monster, or is it just a non-effect monster?
That counts as a non-effect monster.
Oh, okay, so its effect does. Okay. Then never mind. That still works out for me. I will set one card and pass turn.
Still pretty strong.
Yep.
Right. Draw 3. Turn. Bottom of my deck.
Mm-hmm.
Is a pretty good negation wall you get.
Yep.
I think I'm going to set this monster face down.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to tribute all 3 of my monsters.
Oh my.
Summon the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Okay, and how much attack does he have total?
So he's going to gain the attack defense of the attack defense of the monsters tributed, which I believe all had.
Does that count the boost Flame Swordsman was getting from its effect in
I believe it
Salamandra?
does because it does not say original attack. So
Okay.
that's
2600.
18, 18, and 25.
4,400.
66.
6,200, okay.
What?
Yeah. Big number.
Big number indeed.
Calculate history. History, 2,600, 4,400. Yeah, 6,200, okay. Neat. That is a lot. And yeah, can't negate that.
With that, I think I'm just going to enter my battle phase, and I'm gonna have the Winged Dragon.
Wait, if you are not this card's owner or have not activated Ancient Champ
Oh,
Duel.
that's right. That's right. If you are not this card's owner or not activated. Yeah, so I am the card's owner.
The wording there's a bit odd. As is, it seems like it's if either of these conditions is met, this turns into Sphere mode. I think you might.
That's right. I think I have to use the Ancient Chant.
Why don't you try reading the text?
So, the Winged Dragon Rod is going to transform into Sphere mode.
Whew.
I can.
Fun fact, in one of the video games that nobody played because it was brutally difficult, Recipe of Destruction, you can fight a version of Bandit Keith that has the Winged Dragon of Ra, and he will attempt to build up his field so he can summon it, but he only has the Sphere mode version. So
wow.
he'll build up a field of like big machine monsters and then tribute them all for a 0 attack monster. Which is actually amazing.
Alright, so I got the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now going to return a card from my hand to the bottom of the deck in order to activate Ancient Chant. Signature move. Activation effect cannot be negated. I target Sphere mode, and if I control it, I de-transform it.
Mm-hmm.
So he is back to his main form.
Okay.
Alright, now that said, I went to the battle phase.
Alright.
Winged Dragon Ra, attack the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
Alright, let me think for a second. So, important question. Are the Egyptian gods immune to all effects or just targeting effects?
So if you open up the notebook at the top, the second page is the standard god card effects. So they can't be... They're normal summon and continuous effects cannot be negated. You can't activate responses in response, or activate effects in response to a normal summon. Control of it can't switch except by its own effect. And while it's face up in the field, it can't be tributed by an opponent. Can't be removed from the field by spells that target. Cannot be removed from the field by traps or non-divine monster effects at all. And other effects affecting it only last till the end of the turn. So it is quite strong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be kind of tricky out.
Indeed.
So, I think I might need some more resources for this, so I'll activate Call of the Haunted.
Okay.
And, with my damage gauge still up, redirect the attack to Witch of the Black Forest.
Very well. Winged Dragon Ra will attack and destroy the Witch of the Black Forest. Will
Yeah.
inflict enough damage to break the damage gauge.
Yep, and I'll trigger my effect. See what I can get. Um. I'll grab Curry Bandits. Um. All right. Anything else? Wait, shoot! I just oh, never mind. The ancient chant can't be negated.
Yep, cannot be negated.
I was about to kick myself for not using Dark Bolter's effect.
Yeah, I would have been screwed if you could have negated that.
Yeah.
I am going to main phase 2 set 1 card. And in my turn.
All right. I draw. Let's see. Hmm. See what I want to return. Do I have an out to this? Hmm. So it can't be destroyed by monster effects, but it can still be affected if only for one turn.
Yes.
Okay. So then I've got a line here. And it's based on okay, so I'll need to shuffle back is put this back. Alright, well, I'll start by normal summoning Curry Bandit. And quick effect, any response to summon?
No, you're good.
Quick effect tribute. Look at the top 5 cards in my deck. They are Solemn Judgment, would have been helpful. Necrofusion, Lord Gaia, and King of the Swamp. These 2 go to the grave. And I'll add Necrofusion and Solemn Judgment. This also goes to the grave. Sadly, I didn't get exactly what I was looking for, but that's fine. I still have a thing I can do. I discard Thunder Dragon Matrix and target Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to give him 500 more attack.
Alright.
Very useful, right?
Hmm.
So I banished Thunder Dragon Matrix. And, no, actually, I'll keep Curry Bandit because I could use them later, probably. Lord of D. To bring out Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Any response?
I don't think so.
Alright, now I'll fuse my level 8 Dragon Monster and my Earth Monster. These guys get banished. To bring out Meteor Black Comet Dragon.
Very nice.
Because he was fusion summoned, I can inflict damage equal to his attack to the Winged Dragon of Ra, which is 3,500. That'll bring you down to only 2,700.
That is true. However, in response to your summon, I'm going to yet again activate a signature move.
No?
Up here. So I activate Blaze Cannon. Quick play, I can
Ooh.
activate it from the extra deck. I target the Winged Dragon Raw, and it is unaffected by your card effects this turn.
And its activation effect cannot be negated. Okay, that's pretty nasty. Hmm. I will set 1, set 2, set 3, and pass turn.
All right. Draw 3.
Mm-hmm.
Turn. I think I'll go ahead and enter my battle phase. Winged
All
Dragon.
right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Dragon of Ra will now attack Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
Command silencer.
Okay.
Draw a card, negate the attack. So,
In that case, I activate Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Equipped it to the Winged Dragon of Ra.
oh no. All right.
Allowing to make up to 2 attacks on monsters during the battle phase. Once again, Winged
Let
Dragon
me
of Ra.
think
Go ahead.
for a sec if I want to let that happen. I'll allow it.
Alright. Then the Winged Dragon of Ra will once again attack Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
All right. Thinking again. Actually, wait. Yeah. Can I still activate Dragoon's effect, or because would you allow me
do
to?
have that, yeah.
Because
Yeah, go ahead.
all right, yeah, I will discard Beginning Night to negate the activation of Raya's Fang with Chain.
Let's see. When an effect is activated, you can discard the same type as that
Oh, it's
card
the
as
same
an
type,
effect.
right?
You'd have to have a trap to discard.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, in that case, back to thinking on attack. Sorry.
You're good. Luckily for you, this, even if it goes through, will not be enough to take out your life points.
Yeah, it's not game. Did Thunder Dragon Matrix? Its effect is only until the end phase, right? Oh no, it's permanent. Okay, so 3,500. So I'm gonna take 2,700 damage then. All right.
And let's see. Main phase 2, I will set discard. And then I will end my turn, and Red Eyes Fang with Chain is sent to the graveyard because it's back
Yep.
to Winged Dragon Raw.
All right. My turn. Draw. Wait. Sorry, there's another card I think I forgot to include that might be helpful for me.
Oh, good. Therein lies the only downside of making your own extra deck. Because you never know what you
Yep.
might actually end up.
Yeah, I also need to check. I need to look at what Ra's various signatures are.
Yeah, he only has, I believe, one left.
Yeah, it turns into Phoenix mode. Okay.
I believe that last one is a normal spell.
Okay. That's more balancing. Okay. Uh, okay, but if it isn't in its Phoenix mode, it does not have the one effect that allows it to destroy monsters.
That is true.
So,
The
uh,
only effect it really has right now is that it has a lot of attack points.
does it stay in Phoenix mode after the end of the turn, or just go to the graveyard?
If it is summoned from the graveyard, it can turn into Phoenix mode, but anytime an Egyptian god card is special summoned, it's sent to the graveyard at the end of the turn, no matter.
Okay. I'm basically just asking, if you turn into Phoenix mode, is it going to stay that way?
I think the only other way to turn in is, yeah, do that signature
Yeah,
move,
through
and I think
Sun
it
God.
states to send it to the graveyard right at the end.
Okay.
Greeting.
Hey, White Wolf.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, this
How
is
many games have I missed?
okay. Yeah, since third turn man phase.
I think you've
Okay.
missed 2 duels between Helios Strider and 88. And now we are on the third duel, myself against Helios Strider, and he's trying to figure out how to get rid of my Winged Dragon Vra.
All right. I'll normal summon beginning night. Any response?
No response.
All right. I'll fusion these two, or fuse these two into Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon in defense position. And because Meteor Black Dragon left the field, does that count as leaving the field, or is it like Exceeds summoning?
I think it's gonna have to actually leave the field.
Okay. All right. Then these two just get bashed. And then I will set one card and pass turn.
Did you say in attack mode?
Or sorry, in defense mode.
Yeah, I thought
It was I want summon in defense mode.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's what I'm doing here.
All right. Well,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to make the draw it a draw 3, then put one on bottom of deck?
It's primarily as a balancing factor, so that when you are behind, you can quickly bounce back, so that the duel isn't over kind of immediately. Kind of a extender to the duel and allow you to come back with a few more options each turn to counteract whatever is in play.
it's a nice balance between the rush draw mechanic, and the regular draw mechanic.
Yeah, the rush mechanics, it's cool, but it also incentivizes you to basically burn through your whole hand in one turn, or else you can't draw that much. So this
Which,
is
to be
kind of a
fair, is
balance
like,
between the two.
yeah, like Rush, to be fair, is like built around that mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine in its own respect.
Yeah, but no, it's actually a really cool idea. I do like it.
Glad you do. It was kind of a
Um,
way to mimic the way, like if you watch any of the anime and you see what they do and they draw just the right card every time, obviously because it is written that way. But in reality, being able to top deck exactly what you need is pretty freaking rare. So being able to draw 3 cards and then return one from your hand that maybe isn't that useful in that moment allows you to kind of pseudo have that effect to be able to draw what you need.
mhm.
But Helios Rider, I think I'm going to. Oh, let's see. Well, you can't be destroyed by battle.
I accidentally looked at one of your cards. Sorry. Luckily, I don't know what that image is, so it's one of the
It's all
anime
good.
cards. Yeah, can't be destroyed by battle.
And you can banish wing card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to find a
Just
way
well made.
around that.
Are you brave enough to try and go into Phoenix mode to finish me?
A good question. I have to. Is it worth it? Because I'd have to be able to actually.
Only got 2,300 of them.
Night.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna return this card bottom to activate the final signature move.
Mm-hmm. True Sun God.
True Sun God. I'm gonna target the Winged Dragon of Ra to transform it into the Winged Dragon of Ra's Phoenix mode.
Mm-hmm. Alright then.
Now, in doing so, it must be sent to the graveyard during the end phase. So, I'm gonna go ahead and activate its quick effect. Once per turn, pay 500 life points to negate the effects of your Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon and send it to the graveyard.
Alright. That banishes these two nerds.
Then I'll enter my battle phase, and the Winged Dragon of Ra will attack your life points directly. I have something counter this.
Attack Declaration, Necrofusion. I fuse Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
Right.
To fusion summon in defense mode this time. So I don't, die. Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic. My god, that's one mouthful of a name. And when he's destroyed by battle, which is what's about to happen, this guy's in defense mode. He's supposed to be in defense mode. I can special summon Dark Magician and Gaia the Dragon Champion.
Nice.
So I'll do that. I'll summon them both in defense. And yeah, here's Gaia the Dragon Champion. There we go. So, anything else?
I don't believe set this card. However, I did just realize I'm gonna have to make it Rada Phoenix mode.
Oh,
Because before we had the option to return fusion and transformation monsters back to the extra deck, and this card was designed like that so that the Winged Dragon Raw could go back to the graveyard.
uh-huh.
But now with the rule change, Winged Dragon Raw would be banished, and the Phoenix mode would go to the graveyard. Kind of useless.
Well, let's act the way it's intended. Then this thing goes to the extra deck. Winged Dragon goes to the graveyard.
Running.
It's only appropriate.
Then the Winged Dragon Raw is graveyard, and that is your move.
What prompted the
Alright.
rule change?
The rule change was prompted primarily so that fusion monsters couldn't continuously be spammed. Same exact fusion monster over and over again.
It was because of me.
Not just you. It was also that Meteor Black Comet Dragon being summoned and bombing the field every time it popped out.
Fair. I mean, I was also spamming that because that was a lot easier to summon back then. All right. So. I'm gonna switch these two to attack mode. I will activate Gaia's signature move. I'll return a card from my hand to the bottom of the deck. And it'll be... this one. In order to activate, Spiral Spear Strike.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the battle
I'm going
phase.
to go
and
ahead and activate my Salamandra with Chain. And I'm going to target your face-up effect monster, Gaia the Dragon Champion, and flip him face-down offense.
Oof. Alright. Sad day. But since he was summoned last turn, I can flip him right back up.
It's true. But I believe you just entered your battle phase, right?
Yeah. Fair. I don't think I formally... I don't know if I formally declared that, but yeah. If you want to activate, I was about to activate on battle phase. If you were going to activate on battle declaration, that makes sense.
That was my intent.
Yeah. All right. Dark Magician will attempt to attack directly.
We'll have that damage gate up. However, I think I'd like to activate Dark Magic Retribution. When you declare an attack, I can target a monster from the top 5 cards, particularly the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Well, luckily,
summon it. Very nice.
If there's ever been a time to drop this thing.
Now would definitely be it.
Yeah.
Alright.
No.
That is negated, and you to inflict damage gate.
Alright. At the end of the turn, I will set 1 and pass.
Right, I'll draw 3. Turn this card. I hope you have another Solemn Judgment. I'm going to activate the Water of Life. If I control no monsters, I can target a monster in my graveyard and special summon it in attack mode. And I'm again going to target the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Alright then. I did in fact make a misplay here. But yeah, go ahead.
I again summon the Winged Dragon of Ra. Now, due to the Water of Life, I cannot activate other monster effects the rest of the turn. Okay, so any. Winged Dragon of Ra has 0 attack and defense points.
Give me a second to look at the standard Egyptian god effect again.
Yeah, no problem.
Card cannot be removed from the field by traps and other cards affecting it. Alright, so alright, yeah, go on ahead. What are you planning to do?
So, because the Winged Dragon Ra has 0 attack points, I'm going to activate its 4th effect, pay life points until I have 100 left, in order to give that 4,400 to its attack and defense points.
Alright, so pay those 4,400. And once the cost is paid, I have a response.
Okay.
Flash fusion.
Nice.
This lets
Go
me
ahead.
fuse. Let's see what I can fuse to save myself here. I'd better have something. If I don't have any valid targets, then I'm screwed. Spellcaster plus light. No, that won't work. Oh yeah, I have exactly what I need. I fuse Gaia the Dragon Champion, who is set on my field, with Curse of Dragon in my hand, in order to fusion summon Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons.
Nice.
And the effect of Curse of Dragon negates the effects of face-up monsters with attack less than or equal to this card.
Does a fusion in material effect?
Yep.
For this
Wow.
one turn. Yeah.
Yes. And that isn't a continuous effect. So it isn't protected.
Alright, well, note that the second skill of the God card note says that its normal summon and its continuous effects cannot be negated.
Yeah, but that's not the continuous effect. That's its trigger effect, the pay life points one.
Ah, I see.
So until the end of this turn,
the monster fusion swing effects of monster attacks less than or equal to this card because of the time it had to throw.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that type of thing would only affect it for one turn, but
Yep.
maybe the one turn you need.
Yeah, especially because you can't use that effect again.
5 points.
I think you might just be dead.
Maybe, but not quite yet. I'm gonna go ahead.
I do have one
and...
question.
Yes, go ahead.
What's the special zone for?
Special Zone at the moment only has a niche use for potential deckmaster rules. They're made, but we don't really use them. The next set has a few additional optional cards that can be used. But for the moment, kind of a placeholder.
I see. What sort of cards are in the next set?
Well, the
That
next
use
set,
it?
DMO4, is based entirely around ancient Egyptian themed cards that have been really lacking in the previous 3 sets because they've been saved for one big one. So in that set are planned the 7 Millennium item cards.
I see.
Winged Dragon Ra has 0 inactivate effects. Not good. Well, I have a fire monster in my graveyard. So I'm going to normal summon Flame Champion in defense mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to end my turn,
All right.
which means
My
Winged Dragon
turn.
Raw is sent to the graveyard.
All right. Draw. Then return 1. Return is this one.
Nice thinking with that Curse of Dragon effect.
Haha.
Really came in clutch.
Yep. All right. I'll activate the effect of Gaia, reducing his attack by 2,600, and I will destroy your set card.
Destroyed. Millennium Revelation.
Okay. So I will normal summon Gaia, the Fierce Knight Origin, and I will tribute summon him in order to normal summon Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning.
Very nice.
I will go to battle. Have I not actually done any damage to you this whole game?
You have not. I have paid 500 life points to activate a card, I believe, and then I paid 4,400 life. And I still have my damage gate up, so I'm protected for the turn, but I only have 100 life points.
Alright. Dark Magician will attack your Flame Champion.
I'll go ahead and activate Flame Champion's effect to once per turn negate that attack.
Alright. Blackluster Soldier will attack it next.
That will destroy it.
And he gets a second attack due to his effect, which I'll use to attack directly.
Nice. Play on my part. I'll take the damage.
Alright. I will set one card and pass turn.
Alright. Draw 3.
And Gaia's effect is officially, Curse of Dragon's effect is officially gone.
Yeah. Okay, I will return this card.
Mm-hmm.
Going to activate the effect of Millennium Revelation from the graveyard.
Alright.
By banishing it, I can special summon one Winged Dragon of Ra from my graveyard.
Alright.
So I will banish it as cost.
Mm-hmm.
If there is no response, I will summon the Winged Dragon of Ra once again.
Go ahead.
So upon the Winged Dragon of Ra summoning, since it was special summoned from the graveyard, I'm going to transform it into Phoenix mode.
Alright. Go ahead.
Not have 5 in life effect.
Nope.
But I only need to inflict 1150 to
Yeah, I think you got this.
you. I'll go ahead and enter my battle phase. The Winged Dragon of Ra Phoenix mode. Attack is Dark Magician. 4,000.
I had a contingency for Space Form, which was Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin. If I banish him, then he would be down to
would be
0
great.
attack. That would have been one hell of a finish, but no.
That would.
Alright, that's game.
Ooh, you had me sweating there, Helios Rider.
Yeah,
Seriously, nearly took out the Winged Dragon of Ra.
yeah, no.
Well, you took
Jesus
him out
Christ,
several
things.
times.
That was fun. That did feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Equivalent of a boss battle. Probably, I don't know if that should be legal for casual play. I don't know if it is. But it was fun to go up against.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. That's kind of the most important thing. But yes, the God cards are extremely powerful, especially with their signature moves. So
Yeah.
it may be
Balanced
possible
by
that they
being
need
hard
to
to
be
summon.
on some sort of limited list.
Yeah. They're bad. They are at least a bit balanced by the fact they're a pain to summon, though. So
They are. Though, if you set your deck up right, like I did, you can kind of
Yeah.
get around those restrictions with the Winged Dragon Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fun fact, for a while there was a thing they did in Japan called boss duels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
vaguely
that's right.
familiar.
Mhm. They had like 3 separate monsters, 3 separate traps, and 3 separate spells. And each of them were the monster spells and traps were meant to reference a specific card in the anime.
I seem to
Yeah.
remember there was a Pegasus themed one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there was a Pegasus one. I believe there was a Darkness one.
Yep.
There was
Darkness
a
Ninja.
Z one.
Yep.
And there was a Dawn 1000 boss duel.
Yeah, and this was done in Zexal, so Dawn 1000 was the furthest it went. I'm kind of surprised they chose Pegasus of all people for like the DM rep. I would have thought they'd use Merrick or maybe Darts, but I guess they just wanted them to be the easy mode because Pegasus's deck of those is like reasonably balanced, and the others are all like horrifically overpowered because they're meant to be fought 3-on-1.
Yeah, the
Like
idea of a boss deck, it's really interesting. Really.
it is
And-
really cool, but like so many things Konami did, they just have not followed up.
Yeah,
Sadly.
it's kind of a shame.
Like, cough, cough, bringing Rush Duels to the USA in physical form. Cough, cough.
Oh god, like the way they're implemented in Duel Links pisses me off so much because it's designed like no one's gonna play this mode because it runs off the same currency as like the standard speed duels, which have more support.
Is
This
it
is being
still
set up
limited to like the first set or two in Duel Links?
It's pretty early, yeah.
Yeah, last time I checked it out, they barely had anything in.
Yeah, it's limited to like characters from the stuff
The
that would be played by characters from like the first half of sevens, basically.
Yeah, but they did add like newer stuff. They added stuff. They've added stuff from Go Rush recently, such as the
Okay.
Harpy Maximum monsters.
Oh right, yeah, I did get those because I logged into Duel Links for the first time in like a year a while back.
My guess is that they simply feel that the market for it in the US is just not there. That all the players here probably would not be interested because it would be considered a baby form of you.
see, I get that, but that's also why it would be valuable because the game currently is impenetrable for children.
It's very true.
Speed
But-
duels kind of helped with that, but those also weren't well supported.
They probably feel that they just can't even target the that demographic. That's
Well,
my
that's
only,
not.
I guess, risky move, I guess, on their part. But I would fully accept them like sending it over here. That'd be great. But for whatever reason,
Yeah,
they're
no.
very adverse to it.
Yeah, no, it could like. I mean, also to be fair, at this point, I see. I could kind of get if they didn't want to import it at all because at this point there is a lot of catch up to do, and like the TCG had to do like very big catch up sets for a while to catch up to where the OCG was when it started. But
And there's still
Like-
several and like a lot of cards in the OCG that never got released in the TCG. But those
Yeah,
are
well-
mostly just vanilla normal monsters.
vanilla normal monsters and stuff that is copyrighted by various companies that Konami did Japan only promos with.
Correct.
So we're never
But
getting
with
like
Rush, with Rush Duel, it would be much harder to do that because because you can have strategies focused around normal monsters. You have strategies focused around all sorts of different stuff.
yeah, because like Konami came out from the beginning with the idea that cards should be designed to work together.
And there should not be very much archetypes. They should just be more generic in nature, except for fusions, which still require specific names for the most part. When they started making Go Rush they started making fusions slightly more generic. And I
Yeah.
fully believe that when they make synchros for Rush Duel,
If they do that, which I'm not sure if they will.
I'm pretty confident they will. I mean, it's not like they won't evolve the game.
Yeah, but
They've
I don't
got
know
to
if they're
evolve it at
gonna.
some point again.
I don't know if they're gonna evolve it in the same way though, because I think that like the problem is with the amount of normal summoning. I don't know if synchros or exceeds would necessarily work super well in Rush Duel with like the infinite normal summoning. So
That's
they might
true.
just keep in mind they also just didn't import. They also just didn't bring over rituals in favor of maximums. So
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
truly just gave up on ritual.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind. Maximum is a cool thing. They just needed a bit of workshopping for them to get it right.
that happens usually.
My guess for why they really haven't brought it over is probably due to the fact that they're very adverse to new card games in general. You really got that big three trio of base
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Magic, and a few other card games that have kind of picked up some traction. But compared to what is all
Yeah.
available in Japan, we got thousands of card games being launched like all the time. It feels like Battle Spirit Saga just released last year, and I think it's already dead. Like they just
Oh,
don't
nice.
really live here long.
Yeah, like I think like a year or two ago, I randomly watched like a couple of episodes of Card Fight Vanguard, and I was like, hey, this seems fun. Maybe I'll give it a try. Oh, it's just not supported anywhere in like my cities. Like I could buy the cards, but there aren't any official events anywhere.
Yeah, I think the just geographic space between us and the U.S. is probably a big detriment to that because Japan,
Mhm.
everybody's real local and close. You can get together real easily. There's a lot high population, but here, especially if you're in some small rural town, good luck. It's not going to happen. Not with that
Oh,
many card games.
I'm actually worse. I'm Canadian, so for me it's just suburb hell. There's like a few major cities, and everything else is just suburb. Um, So yeah, it's even worse here. Like the closest game store to me is half an hour's drive or an hour by bus because the buses here are awful. And then the other one's on like the exact opposite end of the city. So also Duel Masters, I would play the hell out of that game if it was still here because that one actually looks really fun, but just never got it. It never took off, and that one's partly because of Wizards of the Coast, and their very weird relationship with it.
I will say about Card Fight Vanguard, I played that for a long time, and it's actually really.
Mhm.
They just lost me after the first reboot. They've gone to 2 or 3 reboots, but
Yeah, that
it was a lot of
makes
fun.
that happens. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like I considered like picking up the video game, but oh my god, what's the pricing on that?
I actually
A
did pick
lot.
that up back in December and
Okay.
played it for a few weeks. It is pricey for sure, but I only got like one pack that I was really interested in, focused on the deck, built that and
Mhm.
played through it. But I think they've kind of dropped off support. Like they've had several new
Yeah.
sets and they just aren't making anything else for it. Kind of dead in the water. But if it ever goes on sale and you want to just try it just to see what it's like, I mean, it's not a bad option.
Yeah. It's a thing I'm like paying attention to, but yeah, I figured it was like one of those legacy of the duelist things where they do a couple of promos and then say,
Yeah.
okay, this thing's over, we're killing it now.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of like that.
Yeah. If they made like an official simulator, I might try that, but also like official card game sims are kind of ass generally. Master Duel is actually surprisingly generous given who runs it.
Yeah. Master Duel is actually pretty decent. And
Yeah.
Speed Duel is decent as its own format, but
Mm-hmm.
or at least it used to. I'm not sure about how it is right now on Duel Links, but because I haven't touched the game in literal years.
I can't
But I'm
give a
pretty sure
serious.
it's not in a healthy place since I heard Since I know links are a thing now.
They're not as bad as they are in like the main game. Mostly because by this point they've figured out which links to not introduce lest you break the entire game. And also just because it's still a lower power format, but yeah, it's catching up. Because the big problem with links is they're just so generic and they're too recursive. And everything else in the game had to be power creep to hell to keep up with that. Links were just a design disaster, and I think the most painful example of Konami not knowing what they wanted to do with a new mechanic. Actually, no, pendulums are, but pendulums at least didn't have a knock-on negative effect on the game because they were so bad that there have been like 3 playable pendulum decks ever. And most of them don't even focus on pendulums.
Yeah, most of them focus on turboing out extra deck stuff.
Yeah, because it's funny because like when pendulums were first announced, I remember there were a bunch of people who were freaking out because like, oh, you can spam out so many monsters with these, and that turns out, wait, but that's not actually good because that destroys your entire hand. In order to get out a bunch of monsters that you have to hard draw into anyways. Oh, these actually just suck. So as a result, to be good, every pendulum monster just has to have like 5 effects that all constantly generate advantage, and they still generally suck. 10 out of 10 design.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
The best thing they have going for them is that I can show them to like my friend who only plays Magic the Gathering to give him an aneurysm.
Yeah, it's also like live fan formats such as I don't want to say Edison and Goat, but those are really the only 2 that are that have notoriety. But I want to have other formats get popular, such as the Kingdom card game duels, and this format, and domain format.
Yeah, there are a lot of potentially neat ways to play this game, but Konami isn't real. Trinity's really cool. I'm glad that's like gotten a pretty solid fan base. If you haven't played that, check it out. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think Trinity and Domain are kind of the big ones at the moment, aside from obviously Goat.
Yeah.
I don't care much for Trinity, but Domain is absolutely amazing. As someone who regularly plays Domain,
Isn't Domain primarily, I guess, liked just because of the deck restrictions based on the leader, I guess, you choose in the domain that it has, so that each deck. I mean, it's the joy of trying to find a deck, the cards, build it together that actually works with those restrictions, and then play it. That variety is probably.
Yes, unique. It's also that's exactly it. For example, I've made an Agave Dragon deck, which gives me access to worms, sea serpents, dragons, and dinosaurs.
Fun fact, that card is technically in the meta right now because it can exploit time rules.
In what worm deck?
No, Agave Dragon. In like any deck that can make it, if a match goes into time, it can burn for 100 to give you the game.
Oh my god. That's so freaking hilarious.
There have been a lot of weird things that have been in the meta lately. A bunch of people topped with Gate Guardian just to flex. To clarify, not like the Gate Guardian deck they made recently or the Gate Guardian support. I mean, they just dropped Gate Guardian in the middle of a normal unrelated deck with no way to summon it.
Huh. Like
weird.
The OG?
Yeah, the OG, like one of the worst boss monsters in the game's history.
I assume they negated its effects or something of that nature.
No, it was just a brick that they ran just for the memes.
Oh, and they topped with it. Interesting.
Yeah, they topped with it because like the rest, they were like the point here is to flex because they're saying, "Hey, I'm a good enough player that I can top even with just a complete brick that does nothing in my deck." Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Hopefully we can get, and hopefully the new TCG exclusive cards in Legacy of Destruction will cause a change in the drought that is the Nash Apocalypse.
Oh God, right? Yeah. I'm actually hoping to like start going to tournaments more often soon, and I hate the fact that happened to. There are a lot of really cool, like there are a lot of really fun decks going on right now, but there are also some that are just horrible, and also Snake Eyes is just so overpowered.
And I have hope that the new TCG Ashen support will finally break the Snake Eyes meta open.
I would love to see more Ashen support because I really like the aesthetic because I'm a Dark Souls fan. So
Well, I have good news for you because we are getting new Ashen support.
That's good. I hope it doesn't suck.
And we have one card confirmed already, and guess what it is? It's an extra deck monster.
Oh, that's interesting.
Guess what kind of monster it is?
A pyro?
No, I mean what summoning type?
Oh, right. Fusion?
What made you guess?
I like fusions, and I was being hopeful.
Well, you were absolutely right.
Oh, serious? Okay. So now I have to build this deck. Damn it!
And guess what its materials are? It's Vados. No, it's it's Vados, and it doesn't require anything specific. Guess what it requires?
Any pyro monster? Yes,
2 level 9 or lower pyro monsters.
So you can just super poly their entire board away with it.
Yeah, and nice. Guess what the field spell does? The field spell remember the field spell makes all monsters that were special summoned on your opponent's field pyro during your turn. So that means that we could be getting an in-arc type fusion spell.
Okay, that would be crazy.
That would actually I think that would actually make the deck have a competent matchup against Snake Eyes.
That would be really cool. Because I actually do like the deck's aesthetic, but currently they just don't do much.
Yeah, if they can freaking take on Snake Eyes, I will be so happy because this will finally be a TCG exclusive deck that does something.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those since. Let me see here.
Cosmos?
TCG exclusive archetypes.
Wait, was Spiral TCG exclusive?
Spiral started as TCG exclusive, but didn't do shit until Super Agent was released.
Okay, so that was after it stopped being a TCG exclusive.
Yes.
Okay, then the answer is probably Cosmos.
Yeah, it's Cosmos and BAs. Never did, and those were the last two that really did anything.
I guess it's because like Konami is. I guess they're afraid of replicating like early Zexal where TCG exclusives ran rampant, but that was mostly because the TCG had the OCG's ban list, so there was just nothing stopping them.
Yep.
Konami. Yeah, that would be really cool. I also just hope the ban list does something. Like the OCG ban list semi-limited SP Little Knight, which had me laughing for like a solid minute. Because I genuinely could not find a single deck list that topped a tournament with 3 copies of Little Knight. I had trouble finding one that topped with 2.
Yep.
That might be the most useless hit I've ever seen. Please bring Malicious back to 3. I can be trusted with it. It'll only be used in hero decks, I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, so okay, so the the few best decks that were TCG exclusive at one point were the Burning Abyss was always the best.
Mhm.
Then there was Dangers.
Oh, I didn't realize those were TCG exclusives.
Yeah, me neither. But
Huh.
apparently they were.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they were. And then there was, I can't tell if this is Spiral or what, but there's also Kaijus.
Oh, right. How did I forget about those? But those weren't really good as an archetype, to be fair.
Yeah, they weren't a good archetype, but they were extremely abusable generically.
Yeah.
They were basically like out your opponent's boss for free.
Yep. I mean, they still see some play nowadays, but also Nibiru has kind of power crept them.
Yeah.
But like,
Which is a shame.
Yeah. Well, Nibiru has kind of been good for the game because he's forced Konami to build decks that can do things in 5 summons or less.
Yep.
Which I have to hand it to Konami. It genuinely is impressive that they found a way to balance the game by saying, okay, if your opponent's special summons too much, just throw a rock at them. That is very impressive.
Yep. I think this is a good stopping point for the evening.
Probably.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I'm gonna probably head out for the night and close the stream. But if you guys wanted to continue talking, by all means.
I'm probably.
Yeah, this is a good stopping point for me as well. I wish I could have joined the stream earlier.
That's alright.
Hopefully the next one will be.
I will say, thank you for even coming with such short notice. Since I, just planned this earlier today, I mean, I'm kind of surprised anybody showed up. So,
Don't worry. That Reddit post, it's attracting attention.
Sure
Okay,
seems to be. I think that's the best one I've ever made.
It certainly had high quality and lots of heart.
Thank you. The last time I checked the stats,
this whole format,
like 360 something link shares on it.
This whole format has a lot of heart put into it.
Yeah, we do definitely need to work on the balance, but I think there are some really interesting decks you can build at. I think there's definite potential going forward.
Yep.
Lots
of potential.
But my guard will need to curb some of those draw cards.
Mm-hmm. I'll see you all another time.
Adios.
See you later, White Wolf. Healer Strider, I'll definitely be looking into what you've suggested, those considerations of tweaks and all that we talked about earlier. But in the meantime, I'll probably plan an event for everybody to gather much further ahead to give everybody enough time to build decks or gather their thoughts and stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to update the cards in tabletop. If I do make any changes, I'll probably just post on Errata for now because it does take some time to go do that. But we'll go from there. The next tools and maybe have enough players to have a tournament at some point.
There is one more card actually that I need to mention when it comes to problem cards. This one didn't. It came up but didn't attract notice. Giant Tortoise of Greed. You ported that over from Rush Duel.
Used that earlier, yeah.
Yeah, that's
pretty
just
easy
a bit
to get to. Yeah.
Yeah, problem with that is see, that card works in Rush Duel because drawing cards in your opponent's turn is bad in Rush Duel.
True. Not
So
really
in Rush Duel, it's effectively like a joke card. Here, it's actually a bit too powerful, and I would probably either either make the condition harsher, make it something like if your opponent special summons a level 8 or higher monster, or just cut it. That's my take.
Yeah, perhaps it just needs to be slowed down in some way, since it is a tortoise, right?
Mhm.
Have some sort of restriction that maybe it draws one card one time and then draws another later, or some way to counterplay it on its.
Yeah, that could work. Um,
I'd hate to cut cards that already have set IDs. Feels wrong unless I replace it with something else.
uh, I'd say either again, that could work. Like that is an interesting idea. You could do it something like draw one card. Well, the problem is you don't want to power creep Jar of Greed because Jar of Greed is like.
True.
Jar of Greed is probably too slow for this format, to be fair. So power creeping Jar of Greed probably wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't know.
Do we actually have Jar of Greed? Did I make that?
You might not have. Jar of Greed actually sees like a fair bit of play in modern Goat because a lot of decks do just want to like thin their a lot of decks just want to thin their deck really quickly. But like immediately after Goat ended, it very quickly just drops off in usefulness because the game just
Jar of Greed actually is not here. I think I opted to create the Tortoise of Greed in place of it.
Okay. Yeah, then. I don't know. That one's just a bit too good. That's my take there.
Because generally normal summon once per turn. So.
Yeah. Like there are situations where some situations where it's dead, but especially like if you get early on, it's a huge advantage at no cost. So, and I'd also probably tone down the number of mirror forces. Honestly,
did you put
Those-
all of them in your deck?
I didn't put all of them, but I did put like 3 of them, which is still basically 3 mirror forces.
Bro.
My big problem is like the thing with trap cards is they're a bit trap cards tend to be particularly generic. Like if you look at decks from middle period Yu-Gi-Oh, which tends to be my favorite for deck building because that's like the part where you have archetypes, but you also still have like more strategy based decks, and there's a lot more build diversity within decks. But not gonna ramble on that for too long, I guess. Like you'll typically see the same couple of trap cards because trap cards tend to be very generic. And usually there's like an obvious best couple. Yeah, I don't know. Mirror Force just having like 3 different versions of Mirror Force by itself is pretty good, and the fact that a lot of them are basically better is also kind of an issue.
Yeah, like why run Sakura Armor when you can run Mirror Force? And why
Yeah.
run Mirror Force when you can run Drowning Mirror Force or Storming Mirror Force?
Yeah, and like that applies to a lot of things because, for example, it's difficult for most any battle trap to compete with that. Like negate attack is outclassed by Mirror Force in 9 out of 10 situations. So if there are like 3 versions of Mirror Force, you're not going to see that or its variant see play, which is a shame because like battle traps are inherently stronger here than they are in baseline Yu-Gi-Oh. Because the problem with like battle negates in baseline Yu-Gi-Oh is that all they do is they just get you to your next card. But here they get you 2 cards, so negate attack is technically a plus. So actually, I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm still kind of new to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. I've only like recently started actually learning how to play.
That's surprising to me. I think you're pretty good.
Thanks.
Granted, I've only run duels here, but
Well, I've been paying attention to the game for a long time. I just didn't take it I decided to take it seriously around the time that I got like hospitalized in 2022, and decided that once I was like fully able to move again, uh, I wanted to start going to Yu-Gi-Oh events because, I like this game, even if it drives me up the wall sometimes. Um, so yeah, I take everything I say with somewhat of a grain of salt. That is what I will say.
Well, still, I greatly value your input, as you're really the one who's inputting a whole lot of feedback more than everybody else, and it's been very valuable because I'm
Glad to
doing a
help.
lot of this on my own, and it is hard to just think of every possible combination of things, just all in a head. So this is
Yeah.
really useful. And when designing the mirror forces, as I design a lot of these cards, I'm thinking in terms of draft and sealed. What are the chances you'll draw this? And it'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool when you get this one, but not, oh, let's get all 6 mirror forces together, that kind of thing. So yeah, I need to take into consideration the effects on both draft and sealed and constructed.
So, one thing you could do for cards like this, is you could say something like, you could give the card a clause like, this card is always treated like Mirror Force, including during deck construction. If you don't want a player to just run all 6 of like a certain category of card, like say the Mirror Forces or the Solemns or something, you could just make them so they're mutually exclusive by rule.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, that would work really well.
Yeah.
Even if you were to play it in draft and you happen to get 2 of them, or you'll have other cards that you could use in place.
Yeah.
But that would prevent, even in constructed, using more than one without the need for adding it to a special limited list.
Yeah. That's the idea, because like if you start doing like combo bans, then it makes deck building annoyingly complicated. But yeah, basically it's what they do with Harpies, except it would actually make sense here.
Yeah.
But
particularly for Mirror Force being such a powerful card on its own and having so many variants of it.
yeah, cutting down that would be good, and it would allow for like a wider variety of battle traps to be playable, I'd say. Because like each kind of Mirror Force does sort of have its own niche. The original is, I'd say, the most obviously powered up by Blazing. Especially in this format, Blazing is probably better than it, but the advantage Mirror Force has over Drowning or Storming is that it can protect your monster.
Yeah, a few of them do have it has to be a direct attack restriction, which obviously makes it a little more niche, more powerful if you can pull it off, but you're going to have to lose your monsters first.
Yeah, it's a huge reversal, but it doesn't do you any good. Which, to be fair, because you're constantly returning cards to the deck, like you can't just put it away if you don't want it. But, like if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Blazing. Especially
because it's going to inflict a bunch of damage to your own life points.
Yes, because it lets me break my opponent's gate and then immediately go in for like a lethal attack. It's high risk, high reward.
It's true if you use it early on enough, I guess.
Yeah.
But in doing so, it'll probably break your own gate if it isn't already.
Yeah, so the idea would be like drop it and then immediately try to OTK. Death or glory, hope your opponent doesn't have the back row to stop you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the fuse restrictions actually helped quite nicely. Like, it's fairly difficult for me to build like big dumb Omni negate boards. I did manage to get like a total lockdown board at some point in testing, but that only happened once. It was on my first pass by sheer luck, but and when I say total lockdown, like it was Colossus, It was actually mostly I had a lot of trap. Right, no, it was Colossus, Dark Bolter, and Harpy's Featherstorm. That was it. Harpy's Featherstorm was like the
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty powerful, right?
yeah.
What were your thoughts, real quick, on Red Eye's Dark Dragoon? I know you didn't summon it using normal monsters, so it lost those main protections. And then that restriction of having to discard the same card kind of killed its fire at one point.
Yeah, it still seems pretty good. I'd say like it made my heart skip a beat when I saw it, but I think it's fine.
Well,
Especially if
hold
you
your
like,
breath. 88 said he had a Dark Magician deck he's building. I'd imagine it's probably a lot more powerful there. So I'd be curious to see
Could
how
be.
it plays when it's used as intended.
that would make it a lot nastier, but depending on like how fast you can get them out, and as far as I can tell, there aren't a lot of easy ways to just cheat Dark Magician out quickly. Like most of the ways to get them out are through like trap cards or like the effects of Illusion of Chaos for reactive. So it would be a thing you would be building toward. It would be a win condition in such a deck, basically, as opposed to a thing you open up and sit on.
Yeah,
Which
I
is fine,
certainly
in my
know
opinion.
Red Eye's Fusion that pops them out from the deck. Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So I think he's fine, but I'm very open to the fact there just isn't a deck to break him now. But also, especially with like, the I'm blanking here. Especially if you like curb some of the draw power. Because then you're trading one for one in terms of card advantage. But if you hit like the right cards, then it pays for itself. But that's perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. Like what else? Curse of Dragon, I is something to watch out for because I still think that could lead to some pretty nasty locks. It's not as bad as it could be.
But the fact that it is a dragon, a dark dragon, that can be fused a very large number of things.
A lot of
It
which
can
have
be
big
very
numbers
nasty.
on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would personally limit it to the end of this turn because then like it lets you shut down opponent's monster effects for an attack, but it isn't usable as like a control tool.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, that
would be my
might be better. Before it was permanent, and we made it till the end of the next turn. And yeah, maybe. Turn is.
Yeah. Also, kind of funny note, but if it's on the limited 2 list, Pot of Greed's actually like probably going to be one of the. Well, I mean, if you rearrange some things, if you move like Graceful Charity down, if you nerf Card of Sanctity or move that down, because like that card also is probably a lot better than like it should be. Because it has like the same It does give your opponent cards too, and that does matter more here than it does in the main game. But I'd still say that definitely needs to get hit with a nerf.
You say you're talking about Card of Sanctity or something else?
Yeah, I think the same thing would probably be fine. Give it something. Give it a main phase. Give it a restriction that has to be used at the start of main phase 1, and then make so that you can't do damage on the turn it's activated.
Yeah, I think
That
the main with phase 1 restrictions on the cards that like probably a pretty good fix. That means you're gonna have to use it early as like an emergency.
Yeah.
Like you need more cards, and when you do so, your opponents, well, for Card of Sanctity, they're probably ending their turn with less cards than you have, so they're gonna gain a
Yeah.
lot from it. So it's kind of unless you really
Yeah.
need to.
I mean, those cards are going to do a lot, and you get to use them immediately, but there is a downside to it. So, yeah, I'd say make them work at the start of main phase 1, and probably what I'd do is I'd put a restriction of you can't do damage this turn, That way you're forced to put up with the negative effects. You can't just say, okay, there isn't going to be a next turn.
Yeah.
That's my inclination.
Yeah, perhaps so. I'll be considering that. But main phase one thing. Yeah, definitely good.
That's a good place to start, yeah, because that wouldn't mean much in the main game, but it does mean something here because of the fact that you're drawing 2 at the start of the main phase, so that reduced the amount you can actually get off of it. They'd still be really good and still probably be worth putting on at least limited 2, but they would not like. I even with the restrictions, I would not move Card of Demise off of limited 1 without testing. And I would also probably put Card of Sanctity there.
Yeah, I think the limited 1 list, I haven't really touched it much because I see these powerful cards and I kind of just instinctively pop them onto a limitless 2, and really just need to test to compare their power levels between them, see what really should be on one list versus the other. And I know I think 88 brought up having a limit 3 list at some point, and like, I guess maybe, but I don't even know how I divide that all up, or if it's really good. Sounds like it could be too complicated.
It would be helpful, because again, there are a lot of cards that aren't like game-breaking, but are generically good and overshadow a lot of things. Like, that would be another way to deal with the Mirror Forces. Just like put them on a limited 3 list. And that's like, yeah, the funny thing I was going to say, though, is as things currently are, Pot of Greed would probably be one of the worst cards on these lists, because the funny thing is, the way to balance Pot of Greed is just to make it mutually exclusive with other cards, because then suddenly it stops being attractive. Like, in Trinity format, for example, you can run Pot of Greed for a deck build point, and it's Pot of Greed, and it makes you go +1, or you can run Reinforcement of the Army, which will also make you go +1, but is also, like, it lets you choose the cards you get. And then in Rush Duel, nobody plays Pot of Greed, because Graceful Charity is available, and it's just better in 9 out of 10 cases. Yeah.
Well, since you're very concerned with drawing cards, you may want to take a look at the Revived Sky God signature move for Sliver the Sky Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Taking a look at it, but it currently only works if you target Sliver the Sky Dragon you control that was special summoned from the graveyard. But when you do so, each player draws until they have 6 cards in hand. Being a trapped card, that means you can call the Haunted Slifer, pop it out, draw until you have 6, and now you have a 6,000 attack point beast that is probably being attacked right now. So.
Yeah, that's fine because it's like a god card, which those are also definitely going to be restricted, probably. But also requires to have a specific card in the graveyard, which is a lot of setup. I'm waiting for someone to break that in the TCG. Maybe it's just too slow because it's a normal trap, and normal traps are bad nowadays.
Yeah.
Or normal traps are only good if you can search them, because the fundamental problem with trap cards is they're bad going second. So like the few traps that do see play nowadays see play because you can search them as part of a combo, so you can just run one copy and you don't have to worry about drawing into it when you need something else. Or they're Infinite Impermanence, which is the one well-designed trap card Konami's made in like the modern meta. I run 3 copies of Impermanence in every deck I make out of spite.
They could always bring back the original form of Makira the Destructor.
That would be that would be FTK hell.
It probably would be.
I think you're playing into dangerous territory by keeping that here. I don't know how to break it. I'm not like the FTK guy, but it is a time bomb waiting to blow.
It might be. Just waiting for
Uh,
the right trap card.
Yep. Back in the day, it was like self-bouncing Call of the Haunted loops, I think.
Oh yeah, was it probably something with Giant Grenade? Also, that's,
No, it was.
maybe that's
I think it was. No, it was like a monster that could bounce spell cards and then blow itself up, and then use card of safe return.
Oh,
Yeah. The OCG had like a brief period where there were 3 premature burial, 3 giant grenade, and 3 card of safe return.
jeez.
It was Exodia FDK format 2.
Yeah, they seriously need to consider hard once per turn effects.
Yeah, well, it took until friggin' Infernities for that to happen.
I just wish they would word it a little better. Jeez. Like every single card that comes out, you can only use this effect with this card's name once per turn. Like so much text for something that really could be fairly simple.
Turn
If it's
down.
on every single card, make something for it short.
Yeah, turn down. There we go. 2 words. Keyworded. And then like soft once per turn is turn and instance bound. Yu-Gi-Oh's card design is like painfully trapped in the past decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rush Duel is better in a lot of ways, and some of that can't be translated, but at least the card layout's a lot nicer.
Yeah, I do like the card layout. I mean, if you're gonna have cards that have a million effects on them, make that text box bigger.
Yeah, make the text box.
They really, in
Yeah.
the old designs, like they could use more text space, and they could push things around. You know,
Yeah.
doesn't help the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh cards are smaller than other playing cards, so
Yeah. Which makes them very hard to find nice sleeves for.
that too. They're very hard to come by.
Yeah, like all like the cool sleeves are from Magic the Gathering size. So that makes me sad. But I actually do really like the current card design for this format.
I'm glad you do. I did spend some time trying to figure it out, and I spent a lot of time actually. I think it was about a year ago, like, testing all different sorts of combinations.
I think it looks really nice. It leaves the art unobscured, which is an improvement over Rush Duel, which has like the awkward cover-ups.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, good on that. I think that's exactly where it needs to be. So yeah, that's all I got to say for now.
I will say on card sizes, the Digimon card game that came out a few years ago now, that's a Japanese card game, but they use standard card size, like card size. So my guess is that even Japanese card games are starting to use standard size with ones.
That's nice.
Yu-Gi-Oh, unfortunately, it's just they can't just redo sizes of every card now. It's going to be stuck that way unless they decide to do that with Rush Duel. But
no,
future
Rush
card
Duel
games probably will have one size.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, good because it means other future card games don't have to suffer through the same bullshit I had to. But on the other hand, it's sad because it's gonna make it even harder to find good sleeves.
Yeah.
The
only 2 card games I really know that are popular-ish. I mean, well, Yu-Gi-Oh's popular, but Cardfight Vanguard's less so. They both have small card sleeves.
Most of Bushiroad's games also use like the small size.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know that because like I've considered trying to use Vice Spark sleeves for Yu-Gi-Oh before, but all the ones I want are too expensive.
Now that I think about it, though, they did create a buddy fight game like several years back. I think it's long dead now, but I think that used standard card sleeves, and that's from Bushiroad. So my guess is newer card games are using standard size.
That makes sense.
Y Shorts and Card Fight, they're older. So.
I wonder what their Shadow vs TCG uses because that's very new.
Which one?
Shadowverse Evolve.
Oh, Shadowverse. Yeah, I haven't really checked that out. I don't know.
Um, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't have a whole lot else to say.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you here all night. I already have. So
Yeah, no worries. It was a fun time.
thanks for joining.
No problem. See you around, and I'll continue giving my input. Be significant. Just be significantly more reserved when it comes to draw power. Do not give me more tools to play with.
Yeah, I'll keep
I
that
will
in mind.
take you regret it. See ya.
All right, catch you later, Helix Trainer.
See you around. Bye.